What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm hoping you're having a nice time during the day. I'm hoping today's fine on your side. And today I'd like to talk about the market with Bitcoin's price being at the price of $23,610 probably. So I'm hoping you're fine. Remember to like, share, and subscribe the channel as we continue moving on and discussing about the market, especially this bear market where everyone is out. So let's see how things are going to fare on. Number one, remember to look at the previous what is it called, the previous video that I've done on YouTube. I've talked about Bitcoin and Ethereum over there on the analysis. I'm not doing any analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum today. Wait for it to play out. I might be wrong, but I'm still waiting to confirm if the price will hit that double top, especially at the 4-hour time frame, but not at the 1-hour time frame. Within the 1 day time frame, I'm also expecting a bit of some pump, but I'm seeing a bit of some resistance, especially at that double top. So I want to talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum today. Today I'm discussing about altcoins. I'm going to do a bit of analysis on altcoins, but not Bitcoin and Ethereum. So remember to like, share, and subscribe the channel as you watch the video. If you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. So I'll begin with Compound. These are DeFi platforms. DeFi, decentralized finance platform. They seems to be pumping compared to they seem to be pumping further compared to the rest of other categorical platforms in the crypto space. So first of all, you can see there's a pump of Compound from $28 pump to $57, then retested that support line over here, came back at it, retested it, so formed a W formation over here, then went back up. So when it went back up, it tested that level of 59.38, came back down, tested the resistant line that was there, which is now the support, went above the support. Now it's trying to break the support at the price of 60.40, but the resistance line is at 61.28 and its support is at $55.12. So we are seeing that bounce from there, but we're seeing a build up from that support line. We are seeing a build up that has touched the resistance line at first. You can look at here with this within the 4-hour time frame. You can see there's that touch of the resistance first. So we're having a double top over here. The game never changes as usual. Double top, double top. Will we get a second rejection pumping us back down, or are we going to move back up, test a bit over here, then move up above it? So then 61.28 will be the next support for Compound, as now we are forming another resistance high. So quite something to look at. But I'm looking at within our relative strength index, I'm seeing a bearish hidden divergence just a bit, but not that complete. It's just a bit. So I'm waiting for this bearish divergence, maybe probably to complete on Compound, so that we can see the next move where it is. But if you can check on the brighter side, we saw that bullish divergence over here, which has been building up. And the question is, when will it further bounce again down, then bounce up? This is Compound within the 1 hour, within the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to look at it within the 1-hour time frame. Within the 1-hour time frame, we are seeing that Compound has simply been overbought. Now it's going to that divergence line, which you're seeing the relative strength index at 65.04. So you're seeing a bit of some rejection over here, which might bring us back down to the bullish trend line, and the bullish trend line might bounce at the relative strength index between 44.30 to 43. Then immediately it bounces from that, then I might see a pump above 70 to 75 or 80 on the relative strength index. So I might see a bounce from here, where we had another nice bounce from here, another bounce from here, another one from here. It went below here a bit because of the bearishness that was there in the market. Then again, you might see another bounce from here or below it. So I'm expecting another bounce from here. So within the 1-hour time frame, it seems bullish. So rather wait to see where the price might fall on the bearish trend line. So the first check line that I'd like to look at, if it's on the bearish trend line, is at this price of 50. This is a bounce which I'm looking at the 1-hour time frame at 57.20 is a bounce that I'm looking in the market. If it falls further, then I'm expecting maybe another 5% drop, which is at the price of $55.12 in the market. That's the price that I'm looking at on Compound. But first of all, I'm looking at if it's able to drop, will it drop to 57.20, in which 57.20 is just a 5% drop from Compound. Then I'll be able to keep my buy limit order at 57.28, and then we can have another rally on the upwards passing 61.28, and then we break it, and now this becomes our support, then the other one becomes our next resistance. So that is within the 1-hour time frame. Within the 4-hour time frame, on the worst case scenario, I'm looking at now the price dropping to 55.02 or 55.12. If things are quite bearish within the market, that means that you are having a bit of a demand zone over here. So you're having a bit of a demand zone over here in which you have a bit of a gap to fill. We have a bit of a gap to fill on this zone. We have a bit of a gap to fill on this zone. So sideways, 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 down, up, breakout. So if it's able to break the 60.530, if it's able to break it and then retested this and then retest the previous resistance, which will now become the support, then I'll beautifully go long on compound. Remember, we had this huge pump over here, okay? The pattern never changes. Then all of a sudden we broke that resistance line. We broke that resistance line going up, came back down, went up a bit, came back down. Now this was the nice place to go long at because it seems it was breaking. It retested once, it retested twice, then it went long above it at 64.48. So if you came from the price of 55.12 to 64.8448, you are 20% up. Then what happened? It retraced back down, retested it again bounced again from 55.12 up to the price now 60.57. If it's rejected at 60.20 to 61.28, then I'll short maybe my compound to the price of 55.12. This is not financial advice, but only for entertainment. So don't take this seriously. I'm the worst financial advice you'll ever meet in your life. So we can have a drop from 60.58 to maybe back to $55.12, the price that I'm looking at on compound, just on the worst case scenario, if you're able to drop from 60.59 to 55.12. That's the price that I'm looking at in compound. So I'm like doing it within the 1 hour time frame and the 4 hour time frame. But it also looks bullish on the 4 hour time frame, but looks bearish on the 1 hour time frame. So we might have maybe a drop within the 1 hour time frame to the price of 57.25. If you're able to break it, will drop to 55.12. If you're able to bounce from 57.34, maybe have a fake weekend pump, then you might pump above up to 61.28, retest that level during the weekend, which is a good position to long from 57.52 to 60. That's a 5% increase with a leverage of 5x will be 25% up. And then from there, we get a drop in the market. Then we wait for the Monday to Tuesday open. We'll have large volatility between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So that is on compound within the 1 hour time frame, within the 4 hour time frame. You can just go back to the video and check the price targets that I've simply called out or looked at. That is what I can say as of now at that point. And let me use this. This is the rejection that I'm talking of. Okay, I'm talking of this rejection. It's at the price of 57.69. So $57.69. Then breaks the resistance. Yeah, so rejection short to 57.69, break the resistance long above $60.125. So that's what I'm looking at over here. But up to here, that's on the worst case scenario, the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame. Then here is where with the next support over here at 55.12. This is not financial advice. This is just for educational and entertainment only. Please. We move on to synthetics. I'm looking at synthetics within, I'll start with the 1 hour time frame. So with synthetics within the 1 hour time frame, I'm seeing that pump above, it's now pump immediately above the 100 exponential moving average, especially the 200 exponential moving average, because of the price of 2.769, broke above this. You can see I drew this line before. So it broke above this, it went on that spree. It went on that spree with an engulfing candle from 2.939 up to 3.420. came back down at the price. And I'm trying to look at the price before, and I would say target to look at is now. I'm seeing a decline on the price, and I'm seeing also a decline on the relative strength index seems to be weakening. So I might see a drop maybe of synthetics up to the price of 3.186 is the price to look at when it seems simply drops. So 3.186 is the price to look at. From there, what happened next? On the worst case scenario, we'll be looking at the back to the price of 2.951. It doesn't mean that it will go back to the price of 2.82 that it was, but just on the worst case scenario. So I'm looking for a bounce maybe at the price of 3.186, so I can be able to maybe see where synthetics will drop. Will it drop to 3.186, or it can even drop much lower to 3.17? So within the range of 3.15 to 3.18 is a range that I'm looking at. And then this is the zone that I'm looking at to be filled if we're able to drop. If Bitcoin remains stagnant, this is a zone that I'm looking at. I'm looking at this zone. So if you're able to move back to this range, just like a compound, if you're able to have this diagonal line over here, which will be a W formation or an M formation, back to the price of 2.951, I'll try to long from here as long as BTC remains stable or continues to pump. So I'm looking at the price of 2.956 or 2.951 to simply go long from the price of 2.956 back to the price of 3.163. So it might do something of this sort, then all of a sudden breaks out, or all of a sudden the BTC comes below, breaks out, and then you move below it. So it will move something like this. Maybe a W formation or an M formation might form in the market. So I'm looking at it within the 1 hour time frame. I'm looking up to the price of 3.163. On the worst case scenario, I'm looking at $2.951. So the support level over here is now 3.163. This is within the 1 hour time frame, but it looks bearish within the 1 hour time frame. Within the 4 hour time frame, looks stabilizing. It seems to be stabilizing within the 4 hour time frame. Let me remove this. Now, within the 4 hour time frame, I'm looking at it dropping also the same thing to 2.951. Still, I'm looking at the price of um, what is it called, 3.163. But the funny thing I'm looking at over here is where I'm seeing this bearish trend line. Where is it heading over to? Because it doesn't seem to have equal bullish pattern and equal bearish pattern, but it seems to have a bullish pattern since it last dropped to the price of 2.128. So I'm looking up to the price of 2.128. So you're seeing that bounce, pump of a boat, bounce, drop, pump, bounce, pump, bounce, pump, bounce, bounced a little bit below it, then pumped back again. So I'm looking back down. And by this back down, I'm looking at the price of 3.163 is the target that I'm looking at to be able to go on spot. The worst case scenario is I'm looking at 2.951. Maybe it will be go long. Also going long on a 3.163 isn't bad, but this is the first target that you should look at if you're going long at synthetics. And also that should be the second target, should be at 2.951. Not financial advice, only for entertainment purposes only, and also educational purposes. So 3.163 to 2.951 is a price that I'm looking at to be filled on synthetic. The reason why these DeFi platforms are pumping is because of the increase on the trading volume. Remember, they are decentralized finance platforms. That's why they're pumping much higher currently with high APYs and high APR. APYs are accrued per rate. APR are accrued per rate. APR are accrued per yield. Yield finance. With yield finance, what I would like to talk about yield finance, you can see there's a pump above all EMAs. So Wi-Fi, EA finance. EA finance is pumping highly than expected. Okay, the trading volume is increasing within EA finance, and within the 4 hour time frame, we are seeing that it's been overbought. So since it's been overbought, which price are we looking at? Just on the worst case scenario within the 4 hour time frame, I'm looking back to the price of maybe 1350. It can be able to drop to 1350, then I'll get on a good entry on EA Finance, because look at this bullish trend that is over here. It isn't coming down any moment as of now. You can see it's formed a nice bullish candle pattern. I don't know why my mouse is shaking, but it's forming a nice bullish candle pattern, bouncing above those patterns. So I'm looking at another drop over here, maybe to the price of 1477, the worst case scenario 1350. So where will it drop out within this trend line? Is it maybe 1439? Is it 1350, 3080, or it will be moving sideways, then simply drop to 1350, then drop higher? I'd like to see if it's able to break this bullish trend line over here, then I'll be a bit bearish up to the price of 1350. It's able to break 1350, I'll be foolish bearish and maybe short my YFI up to the price of I'll short my Wi-Fi up to the price of $1,858. That is shorting via finance. That's just on the worst case scenario, but it looks bullish within the 1 hour time frame, which is still uh, engulfing with another green vector candle. Same thing to the 1 hour time frame. It doesn't seem that it's coming down anytime soon, but seems that it's engulfing up and up and up and up. So yeah, finance seems like it still wants to go up and it can still move up. Maybe we might see another 40% to 50% increase on your finance. And now it's at that top of resistant line where I won't like to be able to make my long position, but it's able to break this long position and increase. I'll be able to long my year finance maybe back to the price of 2351 where it was at the all-time high. And if we're able to have a pattern like this then dump then this retest then move up, then I think we'll have a double top over here, and then we'll have another double top over here where I'll be able to close my long position at the price of 2330 back below to the price of 1678, and then we might move up, or we might break down to the price of $1,350. So actually a target to look at if I'm going long, if it breaks that resistance line, is at the price of 2,266, where I'll keep my sell limit order on EA Finance. Then I'm moving over to APE. As usual, board APH Club, it's being promoted by Wells. So a pump is happening on APE, and you're seeing that bullish trend line happening on APE. It's been overbought within the 4 hour time frame. Has it been overbought within the 1 hour time frame? Yes, averagely been overbought within the 1 hour time frame. So not still a price to look at into. So what will I like to do? I like simply to take my position over here, maybe wait for the position of 5 apologies, 5.616 is the target that I'm looking at on APE. Is able to move below 5.616, then another long position will happen. So a retest might happen up to 5.616. The question is, will we have that VWAP? Will we have that M formation over here, or will have a W formation? So M formation is from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Completion of the M formation. Then what happens? We're able to break the support at 5.6164, maybe break below up to the price of 4.23181. But if we were to have the double top, we'll have from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, break the resistance line that you're seeing currently over here as another double top, maybe at 6.7, then head up above it and then test maybe the $8 zone or above the $6.73 zone within any zone. But this is a nice gap to fill. You can see it's above that resistance line a bit, but trying to come down a bit from that resistance line that it is currently fighting at. So you have seen rejection over here within the 4 time frame. You have seen 0, 1, 2. So you have seen 3 rejections over here, and then you're seeing a red candle appearing from nowhere. So if the red candle is able to surpass the previous green candle at the price of 6.4166, then I'll short my position maybe to the price of 5.616. It doesn't have to mean that you'll reach to the 50 exponential moving average test, which you are seeing over here, but maybe you can have up to the price of 5.73, keep my limit order, sell at that price on short, then keep my long position back to the price of 6.73, up the above the price of 6.73 to $7.12 or $7.2 with the price of ape coin. That's what I look at on ape. So I've talked about compound, synthetics, EA Finance, and ape. Then I move over to the rest of the two altcoins, which is Woo. Woo is a small altcoin to large trading volume. Also, it's part of the DeFi platform. If you can check previously on Woo, we saw that huge pump that happened when the volume came up from nowhere. I'm trying to look at the chart previously before, but I can't find it at all. So let me use this. You can see the price jump from 0.10 to the price of 0.26. But currently, from the support right now that you're seeing on it, the support that we are now seeing from it at the price of 0.1548, we are seeing almost a breakthrough to the price of 0.2148 was now that price of the top. Now we have seen that drop that happened up to the 1 hour time frame. Let me confirm with it. Yes, it's up to that support level at the 1 hour time frame, which is the price of 0.1870. So it's perfectly bounced from 0.1870 and it's moving higher up to the price back to 0.2148. So if I could be myself and I'm looking at this analysis and I'm here, I could be able to go on a long position from 0.1842, or maybe go on a long position from 0.2016 up to the price of 0.214 today, and then close my position. That is if Bitcoin goes green. So we look at the target of 0.2148 on Woo. If it's able to pump up to the price 0.2148, it's able to break it, then I'll be happy, and then I'll keep a long position from there. Or you can look at, there's a W formation that happened over here. You see, it can happen. Okay, then breaks out 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Breakout, that's a W formation. Or we can have an M formation, ladies and gentlemen. We can have an M formation. So by M formation, this is what I mean. I mean, we'll have a pump, dump, pump, dump, and then continue moving downwards back to the price of the largest support, which is at 0.1525. Same analysis also to the 4 hour time frame. It can also happen that way, but you're seeing a bullish trend on the 4 hour time frame and the 1 hour time frame, where if I'm able to check my if I'm able to check my chart over here, I'm seeing a bullish trend line happening over here, which I am looking up to the top of 70 within our relative strength index. If it's able to pump back, you can see how many times it pumps to that price. Look at the relative strength index at 70, look at the relative strength index at 70, and also look at the relative strength index at 70. If you can have another relative strength index at 70 over here, I'll be able to close my position from that long leverage that I'll do on Woo network, and then wait to see, will we have a breakout to 0.2148? If you're able to have a breakout of 0.2148, we might move further to 0.25. So still waiting for that play out to see what happens if the market opens within 1 hour from now. And then the last one is Matic network. The last one is actually Matic network, is what I like to talk about. So with the Matic, with Matic, it's kind of different. So it's a 4 hour time frame. Matic had a partnership with Disney World. So you saw Matic pumping above all EMAs. So it came out from the demand zone over here, which I talked about earlier. You can see I talked about the demand zone on Matic over here, pumped above it, came down, retested, almost retested the support, went above it, then didn't retest the support at 0.695, went above it, tested that level, then came back down almost at 0.80, and then it moved above it. So at this price of 0.80 is now the tricky part that I'm looking at Matic network. Okay, at 0.9060. This is now the range that I'm looking at on Matic, which seems quite tricky because I'm seeing a lot of rejection at this 0.9069. People are still thinking that it's moving up because most of the people haven't taken their profits. Most people took their profits from the price of 0.98 to the price of 0.80. That's where a majority took off their profits, but it's pumped back again just because of the Bitcoin's price. So since now it's having that rejection over here. Look at this rejection engulfing candles. One, but you have the red vector candle engulfing, another green vector candle, another red vector candle engulfing, another green candle, another red vector candle. Then you're having these small spikes up, rejection, small spikes up, rejection, rejection. So you can see there's low volume here compared to here, where you're seeing a lot of rejection of wells not pumping Matic much longer than it should. So since I'm seeing this, I'm keeping my position up to the price of 0.81 to simply go long on Matic. This is the price that I'm looking at as my first target. The worst case scenario that I'm looking at, the target is at 0.7763. So I'm looking at a bounce up to the price of 0.8132, the target that I'm looking at to go long on Matic if it will continue its bullish pattern. If it continues its bullish pattern, I'm waiting now back to the price of 0.7763, which I think is a margin difference of only 5% up to the price of 0.7763 from 0.8132. Those are the targets that I'm looking at on Matic. 0.81 or even 0.80 if it will arrive at a price. 0.8051 is the price that I'm looking at on Matic. If it's able to move zigzag within this small time frame formation, then I'll be seeing another movement back up to 0.9065. So we are not seeing any bullish divergence over here, but you're seeing a bearish divergence on Matic, especially as it was overbought. We are seeing that bearish divergence over here. The question is, where will it complete its bearish divergence? Will it move further down up to 20, 30, or are we moving further up, breaking the bearish divergence, properly moving up? So you have bounced up to that bearish divergence over here, and then you might have another continuous breakdown from here within the 4-hour time frame up to the price of 0.8051. So it looks bearish within the 4-hour time frame, and it looks also bearish within the 1-hour time frame. You can see we are having a top bounce from here also. Then we might have another downturn over here, probably breaking back up. So in the 1-hour time frame, the worst case scenario that I'm looking at, if you're going long or short within the 1-hour time frame, I'm looking at the price of 0.8536, the price that I'm looking at within the 1-hour time frame, to be able to know if you're going short from the price that it is currently, and you're going on a high leverage. Ensure that you are able to short up to the price of 0.8536. This is not financial advice, only for education and entertainment purposes only. So you can drop from 0.9076 up to the price of 0.8536. And then if you're able to break the 0.8536, we'll be looking to fill the order up to 0.8051, but close your position, go on a minimum short from here on the leverage up to the price of 0.8051, and then maybe I'll be able to go long from 0.8051. Or if I see a lot of rejection at 0.8536 with the trading volume increasing on longs, then I'll be going long from 0.8536 back to the price of $0.9078 in price. That's what I had for today. So I've talked about compound, synthetics, YFI, Ape, Woo, and Matic. So please be careful with the leveraging. Leveraging is quite risky. You might lose 100% of your portfolio. So please be careful with the current trends in the market that is happening as of now. Then finally, I like to look at Bitcoin. It's funny. Remember yesterday I talked of the price at $22,000. There was a lot of liquidity. Look, it's gone. Now it's remaining 152 Bitcoin. Now we are seeing much liquidity at 23,670, which is what 279 BTC. But much liquidity is at 23,800 to 23,700, what 524 BTC. Where won't the whales or the market makers want us to pump above $23,700? So if you're able to break this sell wall, okay, up to the price of $24,000, that will be bullish. But remember, look at the previous video. I've already talked about Bitcoin, but you saw one red vector engulfing candle, one green vector engulfing candle from the price of 23,300 to the price of $23,450. So a lot of liquidity is now at the price of 23,680 to the price of $23,800. That's where much of the liquidity is at in the markets. So we can have a breakout from this, but the question is, why are they keeping them at that? I've looked at the futures market and the European market. Let's head over to what you're looking at. Look at the Euro USD. Euro USD, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Euro USD seems negative today, ladies and gentlemen. We are seeing a drop up to negative 0.45%. We are just seeing a small drop of oil up to negative 1.01%. You're also seeing a weakening of the dollar yen. You're also seeing a weakening of the British pound. So the question is, what will the market be within the London market? The European market is quite bearish. The Asian market is also a bit bearish, especially with the COVID policies that has been impacted into the economy. So I think we are having a bit of a stop loss from the whales over here between the price of $23,700 to the price of $23,800, where we are seeing large margins might be hit up to the price of $23,800, and then we might have a fall down to the price up to $23,300 maybe. But the way it seems like is like we're getting that rejection over there. So they're waiting for the market to be able to be opened so that they can give you the next direction. So they won't want us to pump above $23,700, and it's just 45 minutes before the market is opened. So the market makers are simply playing their game, where you can think that the price is going to blow up on top, up to the above the price 23,800. Maybe testing, you can see there isn't much liquidity between $24,000 and above, but there's another liquidity over here up to 23,300. So the market makers are playing within the range of $23,300 to the price of $23,700. So they are playing within that price range so that when the London market opens, they're able to manipulate invest retailers or liquidators or retailers that are providing liquidity as an exit liquidity. We're either going long or short in the market. So be careful within the range that people are playing at, between $23,700 to the price of $23,300. Be very careful, ladies and gentlemen. There's a game that is being played over here. So we cannot pass above $23,700 soon. But if you want to break the $23,700 soon, then look at now the price of $24,000. But there isn't liquidity up here on the sell volume, but there's large liquidity to the buy volume at $23,300. Where is that much liquidity that was there at $20,000? It's gone. $20,000 is gone. Now there isn't much liquidity on the buying order over here. Why? This seems to be a game being played. But now we're seeing much sell orders of liquidity at $28,000. As you can look over here, we are seeing a 392 BTC that is on the sell order at $28,000. Let's move over, and that's where the $28,000 is now the largest price that we're looking at within our support zone. Look, this is what I said. This is where the largest support is at, ladies and gentlemen. The chart hasn't left at all. I normally leave my chart here just for reference. If you can look, I said we are having a support at this price of 28,046. This is where they've kept their large selling liquidity at the price of $28,000, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm able to have that top of the $28,000, then I'll be able to take a good shot from BTC from the price of $28,000. So you can see we are ranging within that price. So I've simply done analysis. Please check on the previous video. So we got rejected at 24,099, dropped back to 20,566, and you're moving back on top where we might have the double top that I was talking about. So go and check out on the previous video. I've talked about Bitcoin, but this was just about the altcoin analysis in the markets. So thank you all for the support. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And also, I'm hoping you all love the content, and you can also ask your questions just down the comments on anything that you'd like me to talk about the market. So cheers and stay safe. Have a nice weekend and peace.